Hello, Ms. Burge. I just wanted to share with you how you can use ChatGPT or artificial intelligence with some of the things we talked about. One thing we talked about when we met was this idea of how to help students build interest. And so if I go to ChatGPT and I ask it, you know, and I can say, I believe you taught seventh grade social studies teacher, right? And I asked, what are some activities that would build interest and curiosity in learning about Mesopotamia? And I can put a question like that in here, and it will give me all kinds of different ideas, right? Some of them are good, some of them are not good. Um, I think you even talked about doing cuneiform in your class. So these are like different project ideas. So far, I don't see anything that I love, but it'll just generate a whole bunch of ideas. I might also like to do some prompts at the beginning of class to get them thinking, right? So I'll sometimes ask ChatGPT, I'll say to it, what are some, you know, questions I could ask at the beginning of class that will generate student thinking and curiosity um, each week. What is civilization? Oh, that's a good question. Why do we study it? What geographical features made? Well, that's kind of boring. You know, and I could say, how did the invention of writing uniform? So these are like basic questions. But what if I say, make these questions more thought provoking for before they learn about the topic? I want them thinking about the ideas we will be discussing when studying ancient civilizations, right? And see, this is interesting. Of water. What is the importance of water? What would life be like if we didn't have water? Some of these are not too bad. Um, so these are just, or I might say, create an anticipation guide that students will complete before and after they learn about Mesopotamia, right? And it'll actually create, that's not great, right? And I can say, make it more general about what students think about this time period. I want to get them thinking, right? I want to get them thinking. World was less advanced in the present time. Okay. And that's what if I had, I could say, make it 10 questions, right? And it'll make it 10 questions long. Um, if I could say, so those are just some of the ways I might ask ChatGPT to help me uh, with that. Create an anticipation guide. We talked about maybe some questions to ask each day, activities. Maybe I want something where they give me ideas for a culminating writing and thinking assignment that will engage students in learning about Mesopotamia. I want them to see how it is relevant for today. Um, Now, this is a big one, right? So it gives you a whole bunch of ideas or parts to it, and each could be a part. Um, so I'll send this to you. I can also say, instead of doing that, can I generate different ideas for a final project or assignment, right? And then it gives me all kinds of different ideas. And if I like one, um, I can say, uh, create the archaeological dig report project that I can assign students, right? So I'm saying I want the details. Create a exemplar. I can show them for a made up civilization. So what it's going to do, it's going to give me the whole assignment. They'll explain how to do it. Okay, now this is a lot, so I can always modify it, right? But what I like is exemplar archaeological report for the lost kingdom. So I would say it didn't make the actual thing. So I'm going to say write the full exemplar report, and then it'll write the thing for me. And if I think that it's too too high level, I can say make it simpler, right? But this way, I have an exemplar for them. And I can even say, you know, modify for students with disabilities. And it'll come up with some ideas for how to modify it. Um, it's modifying the report, not the assignment. So then I can just say stop generating, and I can say I meant to modify the assignment that I provide to students. I want alternatives for students with disabilities. Um, and it'll come up with alternative versions, right? And you can just make all of these alternatives for the students. So these are just some ideas. I just want to introduce you to this tool. I will send you everything that I created here that you can look at, as well as maybe a short video of how to get started on ChatGPT.